Three lifelong friends, 6 trusty balls, and endless NFL takes. Welcome to Three Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. Welcome to episode 19 of Three Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. We are 2 weeks away, you guys, from the first preseason game.
Woo!
2 weeks away.
Hall of
We're
Famer,
almost
huh?
there. The Hall of Fame game. That's
We
right.
got
2
like-
weeks away from 3 weeks away.
Oh, yeah.
No,
That's
we're
right.
2 weeks away from 4 weeks away because there's 3 preseason games, and there's 3 weeks of preseason games.
Well, don't make it longer than it needs to be, okay?
I've never heard that in my life, but thank you.
Cut that part. Cut that part.
Anyways, we have today's episode, and then we have next week's episode, and then after that, we're going to be talking fantasy football for 3 weeks straight. So I'm excited about it. And then after those 3 weeks, we have our fantasy football draft, which we set up with a bunch of our friends from our Instagram Sports Podcasters group. So I'm excited for that draft, and I'm excited to talk some fantasy football in a couple weeks. So to get us started with today's episode, Avery is actually going to have our game today. So Avery, I'll pass it over to you.
All right, boys. Well, what we're going to be doing is a little bit of a quick-ish answer. Since Joel and Wil are both big-time Cowboys fans, I thought it would be nice to make a all-time starting lineup. Loosely, I mean, yeah, there's 52 roster spots, but we're not doing that. Basically, what I'm going to do is name a position, and I've got a number of people on there. We're going to go through it tournament style. I'm basically going to give them both a head-to-head matchup, the two players, and they both have to come to an agreement amicably. And then we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll find out what the starting lineup is. Also, considering we're going for either one or two players per position, depending on the position, I didn't put a ton of different people on there just because I felt like, I mean, it's probably only between like maybe 1, 2, or 3 guys. So if there is a name that should have been mentioned, let me know. I will be extremely embarrassed if there is a name I left off that ends up winning that position. So if that happens, you guys win. Otherwise, I win. I like my odds. All right. Let's do this. All right, we're going to start with quarterback. We got Roger Staubach, Dak Prescott.
I mean, Roger there's no
Staubach.
question.
Yeah, it's
that's
not even close.
no contest.
It's not even close.
All right. Troy Aikman, Tony Romo.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah, Aikman's a better quarterback.
And we're talking about basically like you're putting together a team. I should have prefaced this before. Like they're prime on a team. So it's not just, oh, they won Super Bowls and you were on it. It's like, no, I actually like your chances. You know, it all depends. Like you're kind of the coach here.
Before you ask Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach, because I feel like I'm in the future here.
Well, it's
What
just deduction,
era?
but yeah.
I know, right? What era of football are we playing in? Are we playing it like this team's about to play? They're about to suit up for the Hall of Fame game.
I'm going to say you're playing in today's era of football.
Because that's important. With
It is important.
With how I answer this very next question. Feel free to ask.
Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman.
Based on your playing in today's world, I'm going to go Troy Aikman.
Yeah, I'm going Troy
Joel?
Aikman too.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't even a question before what era we're playing in. It's Troy
Okay.
Aikman.
All right, we got Troy Aikman at quarterback. Running back.
Also,
Yes.
best announcer in the NFL currently, in my opinion, Troy Aikman. Love listening to him commentate games.
I can agree with that.
That is up for debate, sure. A different debate, but
Booger McFarland.
Is that dude? Is that the
Just kidding.
white
He's
Jay-Z
terrible.
dude?
the white Jay-Z dude.
What?
Look him up and tell me that's not white Jay-Z. I'll wait.
Wait, who are we looking up?
Oh.
Troy Aikman.
I can see it.
White Jay-Z.
I
Just
can
type
see
in white Jay-Z. I'll bet he'll show up.
I will. I'll do it right now.
That
work
was the
Look
first
this up,
thing
so I don't know.
That was the first thing I Googled. It comes up with a picture of actual Jay-Z.
All right.
Right,
Anyway,
next.
it's white Jay-Z. Running backs.
We can skip running backs, right? It's going to be Emmitt Smith.
Well, is he
Joel?
on the list, though? Is he on the list?
There's no way Emmitt Smith is on the list.
Okay. Well, just tell us who you. Just tell us. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it anyway.
Emmitt Smith, Herschel Walker.
Emmett.
Emmitt Smith. Herschel Walker wasn't a Cowboy long enough.
Yeah. But he still counts, and we're still talking about their prime, whether they were a Cowboy or not.
Ooh.
And not as
Emmitt Smith.
I'm still going Emmitt Smith, but that does
It's absolutely Emmitt Smith.
It does make a difference.
I should have. These are things I should have prefaced, but
Who cares, right? We're just doing it. We're having fun.
Right. Tony Dorsett, Ezekiel Elliott.
Dorsett.
Yeah, his Dorsett.
All right, it's going to be Emmitt Smith, but let's say these three guys: Tony Dorsett, Ezekiel Elliott, Herschel Walker.
Tony.
I can agree with that. Even
Okay.
Zeke in his prime was not those guys.
Zeke's rookie season has a case to be made, but it's Tony.
It goes Tony Dorsett, Herschel Walker, and then Zeke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, these aren't necessarily in any particular order. So once we go through the thing, if you find that there are two guys that you would have preferred in general, we can do that.
No, you made the matchups. You're the expert.
All right. I'm not an expert, but I appreciate the confidence. All right. Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper.
Oh, I mean, it's got to be Michael Irvin, right?
It's Michael Irvin. It's Michael Irvin.
Okay. Drew Pearson, Miles Austin.
Drew Pearson.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Drew Pearson.
Dude, I remember Miles Austin. He wasn't there for a long time. He was there for a good time. Des Bryant, Tony Hill.
Oh man.
I think
Will, who are you going with?
I'm gonna have to go with Dez. I think he was the Cowboys team when he played.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Dez. Just because he was such a dynamic weapon when he was in his prime that I can't not pick Dez.
I agree with that. I still see Des Bryant as a disappointment because of how short-lived it was when it did not need to be that short-lived.
It was.
All right. Now, part of this, you have to see a little bit into the future because it's a current player. Bob Hayes, CeeDee Lamb.
I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I'm going to go with CD too. I think he's got a higher potential than Bob Hayes had in his career. And it's just because the game is different. But I think CD at his prime is better than Bob Hayes.
All right, we're down to 4. And at this point, I'm just going to give you the 4, and you guys choose the 2.
Oh.
Michael Irvin, Drew Pearson, Des Bryant, CeeDee Lamb.
Okay,
We can lock in Michael Irvin, right?
Yes, but
Okay.
the question for me is, this isn't a question. I think Dez should be out.
Out?
Yeah, I think Dez should be out, in my opinion. Just because, like Avery said, it wasn't long enough.
But we're talking about the thing was in their prime. This is one season.
That is technically it. My comment was an aside, but yes, it is basically if you can take them at their prime.
I think pure physicality, Dez in his prime is better than CD in his prime, which we're seeing right now.
Okay, but I'm looking up their stats right now. So Dez's high in receiving yards is 1,382. And his high in touchdowns is 16. CeeDee's high in receiving yards is 1,749, so it's like 400 more than Dez, but his high in touchdowns is 12. So Dez is better at touchdowns for the 3 years in his prime, but CeeDee is a more consistent receiver because he's already had 4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards or more, and his rookie year was 935.
I mean, this question is moot, right? They all wear number 88. They can't be on the same team together. So it doesn't matter.
Well, Irvin's already on, so you're not choosing
Right,
two.
yeah. We can't use Dez or CD Lamb. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
So does Drew Pearson, is he in the hunt still?
This has got to be recency bias, right? Like,
Okay.
It always is.
Just listen to Drew Pearson's stats, though. I know he's a great Dallas receiver, but he had 2 1,000-yard receivers his entire career. And his high in touchdowns is 8. So to me, he should be out. So I think it's between Dez and CD.
yeah.
I would go CD personally, but I'm not going to be mad if we go Dez.
I have no problem with going CD Lamb.
All right.
I don't.
Irvin and CD. Congrats. You guys have a current all-time great on the team right now.
It's too bad it doesn't make any difference.
I know.
You're right.
You would think I would feel better about the team this year, but I don't. All right. Tight end.
Jason Witten.
Jason Witten.
I was gonna. I was looking at the list, and I'm like, yeah.
Isn't he
right.
the all-time? Isn't he the all-time leader in receiving yards for Cowboys?
Oh, for the Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if it would be like if what's his name, Tony Gonzalez was on this list. It's like it's not even debatable that he's not like the greatest tight end, in my
It's
opinion.
Jason Witten.
All right, offensive line. I don't know any of these people, but I hope that you guys know most of them.
Are we doing every position, or how are we doing this?
Guard, tackle, center.
Okay.
It's all together, and we're ending on 2 of them. So there's 8 names.
Okay.
All right, Larry Allen, guard, and then
Yes.
Rayfield, right.
It's
Larry Allen. 100% Larry Allen.
right.
Larry Allen's going to make the team.
Yes,
Okay.
he is.
Now you can just put that, you chalk it up.
Everybody else-
I'll put him up there.
Yeah,
Everybody
chalk
else
him
is
up
out.
at this point. We got to pick
All
2
right.
of them, right?
Yep. Travis Frederick, center. Zach Martin, guard.
Oh, that's mean of you.
Wait, we're comparing a center and a guard to each other?
Yep.
I'm
mean,
going
of
to
the
go
two of
Zach
them,
Martin.
I
I'm going
was
to go
going to
Zach
say the same.
Martin.
Of the 2 of them, I take Zach Martin.
Even though Travis Frederick was great. He just had to retire early because of his health. But I'm going to take Zach Martin.
Yeah.
All right. Mike Stepnoski and Tyron Smith.
I mean, personally, I'm going to go with Tyron Smith because he may not be the first guy, but he was one of the first guys that seemed to change the trend of big, fat offensive linemen to big, strong offensive linemen. Because you didn't see a lot of, pure muscle people playing offensive tackle or really anywhere on the offensive line. And then you saw Tyron Smith standing there. It's like, that guy plays left tackle. He doesn't play defensive end or nose tackle. And it's just like he may not have been the first player, but he was the most recognizable player to change the mold of the way that the offensive line was utilized.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tyron Smith too. But let me just say, Avery, this really sucks that you're making us think about all these great players that we've had like recently, and we have nothing
That you
to show
don't
for
have
it.
anymore.
And we have nothing to show for it.
Just taking a little stroll down nostalgia lane. All right. Eric Williams, Nate Newton.
I'm going to go Nate Newton.
I'm going to agree.
All right. Zach Martin, Tyron Smith.
No. Good
Oh,
golly.
gosh.
You're mean. It's got to be Tyron Smith for me. I can be easily convinced of Zach Martin, but I think it's Tyron Smith, right?
If we're going,
Just wait. Just so we understand the stakes. Unless Nate Newton is being put up there with Larry Allen, rip, by the way. It comes down to Zach Martin and Tyron Smith. So you are deciding second place here. You're deciding the other guard, the other offensive line.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Tyron Smith as well. If we're going in their prime, they're both great, but I'm going to go Tyron Smith because if we're going like in prime without injuries, all that stuff, I'm going Tyron Smith.
Yes.
All right. Offensive lineman. Ed Too Tall Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Too Tall Jones. I don't feel like DeMarcus Lawrence left like that big of a legacy in Dallas. Like he was a good player, but I don't feel like he was ever like the best defensive end in the league at any point in his career.
All right. Bob
Wait,
Lilly,
Hold on. You said which DeMarcus Lawrence?
Lawrence.
Not where.
Then yes.
Not where.
Yeah.
Ware is not.
Yes,
He's
yes,
not a
yes,
defensive lineman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, where the hell is Ware? Charles Haley, Bob Lilly.
Oh, man.
These are some old names we're talking about now. It's
what do
got to
you
be Charles
think?
Haley, right?
This is a tough one.
This name's a record for Super Bowls? Am I thinking of the wrong Haley?
He played for the Niners and the Cowboys.
Yeah, five-time Super Bowl champion Charles Haley. Bob Lilly was Mr. Cowboy.
Yeah, he played for Dallas his whole career.
61 through 74. Jeez, that's a long time to play defensive end. Well, he played tackle as well.
This is tough because if we're going just like, I don't know. I feel like I would go with Bob Lilly just because he was a Cowboy his entire career. And Charles Haley was a 49er for a long time before he was a Cowboy.
And a 49er again after he was a Cowboy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
So he's
I
not
don't
like
think
a true Cowboy.
I don't think this pick is gonna make much of a difference. So
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go Bob Lilly then.
Okay.
Bob Lilly.
Bob Lilly.
All right. Leon Lett, Randy White.
I think I'm going to go Randy White.
All right, Randy
I
White.
can agree with that.
All right. It's between Bob Lilly, Ed Jones, Randy White. You need two.
Pick two.
So Ed Jones, right?
Let's see.
Yep. Too tall. Oh, he was 6'9". Yeah, all right, that makes sense.
Will, would you be okay with Too Tall Jones and Randy White?
Yes, I would. Comfortably so. You know, it goes to say that you only named one semi-recent Dallas defensive lineman, and they have had a problem. They've had a problem stopping the run for a long time, like the past 5-10 years. Maybe not that long, but 5-7 years, haven't been able to stop the run, and it's because of that very reason right there. They have no defensive line to do it. No high caliber defensive line. It's not that they don't exist. They're just not the same as they used to be.
Same as it ever was. Yeah. No, that's a great insight. Yeah.
I
noticed that too. I'm like, I don't recognize any of these names at all. All right. Linebackers. Going two again. Bob Brunig, Micah Parsons.
I'm going Micah.
Micah.
I think we have to, yeah.
All right. Thomas Hollywood Henderson, Sean Lee.
Sean Lee. In his prime,
Sean
no
Lee?
injuries. Yeah, in his prime, no injuries. Sean.
Oh, yeah, if we're taking injuries out of it, then yes.
Yep. All right. Chuck Howley, Dexter Coakley.
I'm back at that. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, I don't know who those guys are either. So
Chuck Howley, Leroy Jordan,
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say. James.
I did too. Yeah, I didn't realize until I was saying it.
Okay, wait. Who are the names again?
Leroy
Jordan, DeMarcus Ware.
DeMarcus Ware.
Leroy Jordan played for the Cowboys in like the 60s. 1963 to 1976.
It's DeMarcus Ware.
It is DeMarcus Ware.
Okay.
That is one player I can truly say I was thrilled when he won a Super Bowl. It wasn't with Dallas, obviously. I was glad he went somewhere else and won a Super Bowl. I was so happy.
Where did he win it?
Denver.
That's
The year
right.
Von Miller won MVP.
Yeah, Von Miller was a monster that year.
Yeah, they had a wonderful defensive line that year. And
All right.
linebacking core.
We're going to do this. DeMarcus Ware is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Between Sean Lee and Micah Parsons, who would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
I think Sean Lee is the more well-rounded linebacker. Now, they play different positions. Micah does not play middle linebacker. And so you're looking for different skill sets. But I think Sean Lee is the more well-rounded, at his prime, better player.
Yeah, because we have DeMarcus Ware as our pass rusher, I'm going to go Sean Lee too.
All right, now I have something interesting.
Oh, no.
Sean Lee, I want you guys, because it sounded like you didn't know who Chuck Howley was. I want you to look up Chuck Howley and compare him to Sean Lee and tell me if you still want to keep Sean Lee there or if you'd like to replace him with Howley. Chuck Howley.
I don't think I think I don't want to replace him.
I can agree with that. I think that because of his injuries, his stats or numbers aren't going to look that good. But when he was out on the field, it was his defense. He ran that defense. And that is an intangible that's not going to show up on your stats.
Fair. Cornerbacks. Orlando Scandrick.
Oh.
Dennis Thurman.
Okay, so Orlando Scandrick played on the Cowboys when their secondary was terrible. And of all things, that offense, Tony Romo, Jason Witten, Dez Bryant, that offense was fun to watch. And then their defense got in the field, and once they got past that DeMarcus Ware, Sean Lee linebacking core and in the secondary, is like, all right, well, all bets are off. We can't do anything to stop a pass. So just by default of how mad I spent part of my life at Orlando Scandrick, I just can't possibly pick him.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
All right. Thurman. Larry Brown. Terrence Newman.
Oh, see, Terrence Newman, same era.
Yep, I remember both Scandrick and Newman.
Let's go Larry Brown. Terrence Newman was good, but he didn't do anything.
All right. I think Will agrees with that.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Cornell Green, Everson Walls.
Ooh, I don't know who these guys are.
You never heard of Everson Walls?
No, I'm a fake fan.
It doesn't sound like a real name.
That is not the right Cornell Green. That
Let's
is an
see.
offensive lineman.
Cornell West.
I just looked at the same guy.
West. See, Cornell West?
That's just some political commentator.
Oh, sheepers.
Let's just go Everson Walls.
Yep, obviously. Clearly,
All right.
he's way better.
Mel Renfro, Trayvon Diggs.
Mel. I'm going Mel Renfro.
Then let me ask.
That was
Out
some
of
conviction.
Out of Everson Walls, Larry Brown, and Dennis Thurman, would you replace Trayvon Diggs with any of them?
I'm going to go with Everson
I'm talking
Walls.
Diggs from 2 years ago.
I'm going Everson Walls.
Replace Everson Walls with him?
Oh, you mean you'd swap
the
out
question
Everson
is-
Walls?
The question is putting Everson Walls over Diggs, right?
Well, the real question is, I'm assuming Mel Renfro will be in your list of cornerbacks.
Yes.
I'm wondering if between Everson Walls, Dennis Thurman, and Larry Brown, if one of those three would be in there, or if Trayvon Diggs would be in there with Renfro.
Well, okay, let me just say this. Mel Renfro is the all-time leader in interceptions for the Cowboys, and Everson Walls is second. So,
Who has the record for in a season?
That's Diggs, isn't it, with
Yes.
11?
well, Everson Walls also had 11
Competition.
in his rookie year, actually.
Diggs did it in his second year. But COVID was the first year, so does that count?
That Walls and Diggs, only 40 years apart. That they.
I think we
that,
should go. I think we should go Renfro and Walls.
All
I'm
right.
good with that.
Wait,
Safety.
hold on.
Shoot.
Where's Deion Sanders?
Yeah, where is Deion Sanders?
That was the first one you guys got. All right.
Gotcha.
Everson
Good
Walls
point.
is out. I'm taking Deion.
Sanders. There it is. I knew I was missing one. All right. Safety. We're picking. We'll pick two. Darren Woodson, Brock Marion.
Yeah, Darren
Woodson.
Woodson for sure.
Cliff Harris, Michael Downs.
Cliff Harris.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Yes, I have nothing else to say.
My main man, Roy Williams, Bill Bates.
Roy Williams, but he's not making the team.
Charlie Waters, James Washington.
These are
I'm
names
assuming
don't
you don't know
recognize.
them.
These are
I know the
don't
names. I know
Unless
the names.
either of them are going to beat out Cliff Harris or Darren Woodson.
They're not.
Nope.
All right. Darren Woodson and Cliff Harris.
All right, give us our all-time team here, Avery.
Wait, we haven't done punter and kicker yet.
Oh, we gotta go puncher kicker.
I'll give all four names for kicker. Dan
Oh.
Bailey, Raphael Septien, Chris Boniel, Mike Vander. Dude, what is going on? You
I mean,
should
it's
know
got to
what
be
those
Dan
names are.
Bailey, right?
It's Dan Bailey.
Dan Bailey. And that's the
Punter.
whole thing.
Punter, Chris Jones, Zach Zastudel, Mike Saxon, Matt McBriar.
With this team, we won't need a punter, right?
Yeah, let's just go Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. All right, here's the team. Troy Aikman at quarterback, Emmett Smith at running back, Michael Irvin, CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver, Jason Witten at tight end, Larry Allen and Tyron Smith. Defensive line, too tall, then Randy White. Linebacker, DeMarcus Ware, Sean Lee. Cornerback, Mel Renfro, Deion Sanders. Safety, Darren Woodson and Cliff Harris. Imagine that. Dan Bailey and Chris Jones.
Cool.
All righty.
All right, cool. Well, thanks
Thanks,
for the
Avery.
game. That was a good one.
That was fun.
Even though I was a little embarrassed, but that was a good one.
Sorry, we got him, though, with Deion.
It was just a little humbling.
Yeah, we did. We did. We got him back with the Deion one.
Hey, to be fair, I said if you guys point out someone that I missed that makes the list, you guys win. So
We
you
win.
won.
We did it.
And that game was rigged for me to win, and you still pulled it out. So
Yeah, you showed up with the answers, and we still got you.
yeah. All right.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to go on to our next topic, which is kind of a game. But what we're going to do is we're going to build our ultimate running back with only current players and we can only pick a player one time. So we have 9 categories, but once we pick that player, so for example, if we pick Derrick Henry for any of the categories, you cannot pick Derrick Henry for any of the other 8 categories. So let's go. Who wants to go first? Because then we'll just rotate.
Should we just go topic by topic and just make a case for who we think should be in there? Because we're gonna have arguments on who's what, right?
Because I'm seeing this kind of like drafting a team where we kind of have to discuss it, but we got to be quick.
Sure.
Yeah, so we got to keep it
like 30 seconds max, 20 seconds
Yeah.
per one.
We got to keep it. Yeah.
I'll try. For size, I'm thinking Derrick Henry. I know that's just like, oh, we just burn the top one.
Let me allow this. Deuce Vaughn, the shortest running back in the NFL, right? You gain elusiveness because he's so small. You gain speed, obviously, because he's got less body size. Okay, I have my 2 players written down here, Derrick Henry and Deuce Vaughn is 1 and 2. What am I doing here? The complete opposite. You've got like 6'3", and you've got like 5'8". Okay. I'm just saying, if we want to use Derrick Henry later, Deuce Vaughn, you get a small, compact Maurice Jones-Drew style running back.
But it would be something if you could still like have that same speed, but it's just the size. It's just the size and durability. That's the only thing you're getting out of it.
Okay, before we officially start, though, let me read the categories so our listeners know what we're actually trying to figure out. Okay, so there's 9 categories. There's size and durability, speed, contact, balance, and strength, vision, closer, competitiveness, elusiveness, hands and receiving, and pass blocking. So I have a case to make for somebody else for size and durability because I kind of want to use Derrick Henry as something else, but I'm not going to be mad if we use Derrick Henry for size and durability. And the reason I want to go with somebody else is because I'm going to make a case for Najee Harris here. He's
I was going to
6'1".
make a case for Eddie Lacy, but go ahead.
Is he still current?
No. Okay, so Najee Harris is 6'1". Najee Harris is 6'1". He's 242 pounds. If we're throwing durability into that mix, he has played in all 17 games every year of his career, of his 4-year career, and he started all 68 of those games.
Jeez.
And he's had at least 255 carries in every single season, and he's had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons in terrible offenses. In 2021, which was his best statistical season, was when the passing offense was the best. It ranked 15th in the league. In 2022, it was the 9th worst. In 2023, it was the 8th worst. And then 2024, it was the 6th worst passing offense. So not only is he durable, but he's producing with a terrible passing offense. So that's my case for Najee Harris, but I'm not going to be mad if we go Derrick Henry.
Oh, so we're just throwing Deuce Vaughn out the window? I see. No,
I like that case.
I'm good with Najee. I did not have him down anywhere else on my list, so this is good. This does not take a player off my list.
Okay, are you guys cool with that?
Yep, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. Can I skip to closer?
Sure.
Because that's what I want to use Derrick Henry for.
As long as you're writing these down.
I have been keeping track. I will keep track. Okay. I'm already
okay. Sorry. I lied. Derrick Henry was one of my options for closer, but I actually want to use him for contact, balance, and strength.
See, I have Bucky Irving there.
That's who I had.
Okay.
I don't hate Derrick Henry there. I don't know where else we're going to use Derrick Henry. I don't mind closer or competitiveness. So at this point, we're kind of running out of Derrick Henry slots, and there's no way he can't be on this list, right?
There was so many places that you could put Derrick Henry. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'll go with closer for Derrick Henry. And the reason why is because in the first half of games last year, he had 146 carries, and this is throughout every single game. So he had 146 carries. He had 740 yards, 5.1 yards per carry, and 8 touchdowns. In the second half of games, he had 175 carries for 1,119 yards, 6.4 yards a carry, and 8 touchdowns. So he just gets better throughout the game. I had him on my fantasy team last year, and I remember just being frustrated in several games because the first half his stats were just absolute garbage because the Ravens just weren't running the ball as much. Mm-hmm. And in the second half, he finished the game with like 25 to 30 points because they just pounded the ball with Derrick Henry, and he closed out the game for him.
Sorry, you go.
No, that's okay. I think you can make a case for Saquon Barkley. It's pretty close, but I think Derrick Henry is the best closer in football when it comes to the running back position, and so that's why I would want him as the closer.
I had Jahmyr Gibbs as my number one there because the Lions were often up and they were doing the same thing, handing the ball off to either David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs. I had David Montgomery in a different slot, so I was like, okay, well, they're going to hand the ball off and he's just going to pound the rock to finish the game out. But Derrick Henry, you're right. They do that. The Ravens do that more than anybody. His fourth quarter stats are often better than his first quarter stats, whether they're winning or not.
Yes, 100%. When you need to win a game, you give it to Derrick Henry. So are you guys cool with that?
I like it.
Yep, cool. All right, Avery, pick our next category.
Let's do speed.
Okay.
Who you got?
I like Raheem Mostert.
But he hasn't been doing much lately, so I don't really know. But I know that man is fast.
It came down to two guys for me, Devon Achane and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Those were also up there.
I kind
of like Achane more than that.
I have Devon Achane as one of my guys as well.
Yeah, he ran a 4.32.
I think this will offer some good argument. Let's go with vision next.
Okay.
I have, even though he can't stay healthy, I do have Christian McCaffrey here.
Okay. Can I make a case for Christian McCaffrey for hands and receiving?
Before we do that, but I'll counter with Alvin Kamara.
Okay. Okay.
Make the case. Let's see the case.
Okay.
Let's see whose case.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to make the case. I'm going to make the case. If we're going with no injuries and just, it doesn't even matter if we're going with injuries or not because we have Najee Harris, who hasn't missed a game in his whole career, for this running back. So Christian McCaffrey, in the 5 seasons he's played where he's been healthy the full season, he's had a minimum of 67 catches and 564 receiving yards. He's had 2 seasons with over 100 receptions and 1 season with over 1,000 yards. I don't think Kamara even comes close to that.
I would like to enter into that argument that he was the only real player on the Panthers. So they had no other options. Whereas Kamara on the Saints, they've had other options. They just have not had a consistently good quarterback. Now, they had Drew Brees, sure, but it's been a while.
What do you think, Avery?
I'm hung up on
Break
something
the tie.
else. Well, for the hands, I almost wonder because I think David Achane is
Devon Achane.
Is the
that
Devon,
wasn't me this
Devin.
time.
I'll mess it up every time, dude. Whoever spelled Devon, your mother, or whoever your great grandfather was that decided that last name, you have to hear it first before you know how to say that. I think he's the best choice for receiving, and it makes me wonder if there's a better speed option because I think he might even be better than Alvin Kamara.
Okay, can I make a case for Jahmyr Gibbs for receiving then?
You can try.
I could be convinced.
Okay, so while he's splitting time, he was 3rd among running backs in yards with 517 on 52 catches, but his average is 9.9 yards. If you look at Devon Achane, his average is 7.6 yards. Now, that may have to do with the team because the Lions had a better overall team than the Dolphins do, but he's basically giving you a first down every time he catches the ball.
Yeah, but didn't Achane had more touchdowns?
Yeah,
but
he had more.
I can see what you're saying.
He had more catches. He had 78 catches, which is 26 more than Gibbs, but he also only had, what's that, I can't do math that well, 592 yards, and Gibbs had 517 yards on 26 less catches.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that being just the scheme where, they're just throwing it a little deeper. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like at this point, I'm pulling at hairs right here. They're basically
there's a lot of good options.
I would also like to enter into this argument for hands since we've moved off of vision. That's fine. I didn't pick hands.
You're going to answer yourself, Will?
I am not. I'm going to say Austin Eckler. What?
Okay.
I mean, he was. When you were in fantasy football, you wanted Austin Eckler for your points per catch.
We're going with right now though, right? Because he wasn't very good last year.
Well, he's also backup. We going with right now? I thought somebody said prime player earlier.
It was probably me. I don't know.
Are we going with right now stats? Because that does change some arguments here.
We're supposed to be doing right now.
Oh, okay. Then yeah,
I thought. Yeah, in the thing I said for running backs, we're doing current in their current form, right?
Okay, then yeah, definitely not. Yes. Well, then that takes my Alvin Kamara argument away too. I don't think he should be in for his current stats.
Don't you leave me.
Sorry.
Sorry.
All right, now I don't know where to go.
What category are we doing? Who are we picking? Let's finish this hands conversation.
Let's decide. Yeah, let's decide on hands first.
Sorry, you go.
No, you go.
No, you go first.
I was thinking maybe I'm on the side of Joel then with I don't know how healthy he is right now. I haven't seen this man play in like 3 years, it feels like. But McCaffrey.
I can agree with that.
Keep in mind we have Najee Harris's size and durability. So
yes, we have somebody else's health
thing.
I guess what I was referring to, meaning like if he's still not at full strength, we did say current.
Well, his hands like here's the thing though, his hands have never been the same.
His hands right now, and there's dish soap on it. He's not going to be able to catch. We're talking current.
I'm being dumb. I'm being needlessly difficult.
Okay, Avery, you're up. No, Joel, you're up. I'm sorry.
We didn't finish our vision conversation either.
Talking Scarlet Witch?
Yes. But, so I guess, that takes out your guy, though, right? Because if we do McCaffrey at hands, then you didn't have McCaffrey. You had McCaffrey at vision.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley for vision.
Ooh, interesting. I have him at competitiveness.
Oh, I don't think you guys are going to like my competitiveness one.
Oh, gosh.
Why? Because he's not competitive, or because we don't know
Lamar
how competitive he is?
No, because it's Cam Scatterboo. That's why.
Oh.
I don't hate that, actually. I don't hate that at all. I didn't think about rookies that hadn't played yet because I didn't care about them yet. But I actually don't hate that.
And if you want me to make a case, I will. Because
I want you to make a case based on everything other than the playoff game where the entire game, all the commentators did was talk about his competitiveness.
No, it's not just that game. It's his whole season.
I know, which is what they talked about during that game. All I'm saying is I remember watching that game because I've seen him play before. I was watching a lot of college football, and I'm like, they are really hitting on this. Almost like this is some like concerted propaganda effort. Like it was weird. Like I know he's competitive. I'm not saying he's not competitive. But it was weird how much they showed that man, even though they were losing like the whole game. I mean, I guess they almost kind of came back a little bit, but
it was pretty close.
That's just me. That's just me hating sports media. But go ahead. Even though I guess technically we're kind of part of that now.
I mean, I honestly think that Cam Scatterboo might actually be one of the most competitive running backs I've ever seen.
I mean, you're on record on this show saying that you want him if you want a tough player on your team. Like if you want a guy who's going to show up and and add toughness to your locker room, get Cam Scatterboo.
Exactly. He's always been doubted. He's never been considered the best. All he does on every single play is just compete. That's all he does. You can see it on his face after every play that he just wants to go out there and compete. And I think he's going to be a perfect fit for the Giants because the Giants have been lacking competitiveness for a long time. I think they added that with Malik Neighbors when they drafted him last season. I think he brought some competitiveness to their team as a rookie. But I think Cam Scatterboo brings a ton of competitiveness that the Giants have not had for a long time to this team. And I'll say it again, I think he's one of the most competitive running backs that I've ever watched play. So if I'm going to have a running back where I need competitiveness, I would go with Cam Scatterboo.
I'm looking at this dude right now on Google Images.
This man looks like he would easily survive a car crash. Like,
he just looks like a tank.
His neck, his face, looks like he's built to withstand impact and whiplash.
I also had in here Josh Jacobs for competitiveness, but I agree with Cam Scatterboo. And we still haven't answered the vision question. We keep starting it and going.
I thought we did Saquon.
No, I brought up Saquon, but we didn't.
I said I have Saquon in a different spot.
What spot do you have Saquon in?
Me, competitiveness.
Now what? Okay, well,
Where else?
Losing competitiveness then.
Oh, no. Sorry. We're putting Cam Scatterbo there, right?
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. Okay.
Where do you have Saquon now then?
Where am I moving him to? Got it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we don't have any. No
We
one's
don't-
sold on any.
Saquon
spot.
is not on this
Got
list
it.
yet.
okay. Who did we already do? Contact balance strength.
No.
No, so we still have that. We still have vision. We still have elusiveness and pass blocking.
You know, in the spirit of going with an unproven rookie, you know who I like for contact balance and strength?
Amari
Martin
Hampton.
Hampton.
No.
No, it's Ashton
And I knew you
Genty.
would
It's for
say
sure
that.
Ashton Genty. Yes, that was a pure
I
bait.
knew you would
That
go
was a
for that
pure
first.
bait on my end. I knew you meant Ashton Genty. I was like, no. Let's do the UNC thing.
And that's purely. I mean, again, we'll see how it goes in the NFL, of course.
Right.
But at Boise State, geez, this dude just.
You're right. Based off the current knowledge
Couldn't
we
hit the
have,
ground.
I don't hate that. Joel?
For contact balance strength,
Yeah.
I have, since we already used Derrick Henry, I have Josh Jacobs. And the reason I have Josh Jacobs is because since 2020, he's second in the league in yards after contact with 2,689. Last year, he had 639 rushing yards, which was second in the league. So he's second in yards after contact last year and yards after contact since 2020, behind Derrick Henry in both categories. So that's why I put him in that category as my second guy. But I'm also okay going another way.
And for my second in this category, I had Nick Chubb, who's not going
That's
to
a good
show
one,
up on
too.
stats last year, but who definitely contact balance and strength. Nick Chubb is definitely up there. But I based on current activity, I think I'm good with Ashton Genty, actually.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight Ashton Genty.
Cool.
You want to go Ashton Genty?
I already typed it in. We're moving on.
What do we have left?
We have vision, we have elusiveness, and we have pass blocking. I feel like elusiveness has to be Saquon.
We have yet to use Saquon.
Let's use
Unless we go Saquon for vision, because I also could make a case for Bucky Irving for elusiveness if you want me to.
Did we not use Bucky yet?
We have not
We
used
did not
Bucky
use
yet.
Bucky Irving.
Avery, we both talked about Bucky for contact balance and strength, but we moved
right.
off of him.
I like Bucky for elusiveness and Saquon for vision.
Just because I love numbers, I'm going to tell you some numbers for Bucky Irving. So elusiveness, he's forced 62 missed tackles and led the NFL with 3.93 yards after contact per attempt last year, with a minimum of 150 carries. He also forced a missed tackle on 35.8% of his touches, which was the top rate in the NFL with a minimum of 100 touches. So the guy's pretty elusive.
I like it.
Sorry, I'm updating our list so I don't reuse people. Yes.
If you're good with that, Will, then I think we should go Bucky Irving for elusiveness and Saquon Barkley for vision.
I concur.
I feel like if you can make a run and you can jump over a guy backwards and know that you're not going to get wrecked when you land,
Yeah.
that's some sort of vision.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, our last is pass blocking. Who wants to take the lead here?
I have James Conner.
I have Tony Pollard.
I like James Conner.
Yes.
I also like Tony
right
Pollard,
off.
but
I also have Kyron Williams on there.
I could not think of his pass blocking at this point.
Yeah, my first guy was James Conner because this is a 2022 stat. I couldn't find 2024 stats, but he had the third highest PFF pass blocking grade among running backs with 73.8, which doesn't seem that high, but Saquon Barkley had a 75.5, which was the highest that season. And it doesn't really make sense to me because James Conner had 84 pass blocking snaps and allowed 4 pressures, and Saquon had 83 snaps but allowed 6 pressures but had a better pass blocking grade somehow. So I don't know exactly how that works, but I feel like if you only allow 4 total pressures on 84 pass blocking snaps as a running back, you're doing a pretty dang good job of blocking guys.
That's fair.
I like it.
I can be easily
That
convinced.
makes sense.
Cool. All right, well, so when you're ready, when you've got it all written down, tell us who our ultimate running back is.
Yep. So for size and durability, we have Najee Harris. For speed, we have Devon Etienne. Right?
Yeah. Pretty,
Yeah.
I
Devon
I
Etienne, yes.
crushed that. crushed it so good. Anyway, for contact, balance, and strength, we have Ashton Genty. For vision, we have Saquon Barkley. For elusiveness, we have Bucky Irvin. For hands, receiving, we have Christian McCaffrey. For blocking, we have James Conner. For closing ability, we have Derrick Henry. And for competitiveness, we have Cam Scatterbo. Notably not on this list, neither David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs.
Or Bijan.
Or Bijan Robinson, yeah.
I did have him as one of my guys for vision, but because we hadn't used Saquon, I had to go Saquon over Bijan. Would our running back be the best running back in the NFL?
It better be.
I would hope so. It honestly almost seems like this guy seems like he's your Madden player, right? Like, let me just get all the best stuff and just make it, and I'm just going to be the best in the league and get 500 rushing yards a game and just be so good. And then you play it for 5 minutes and you're like, okay, well, I'm too good, now I'm bored.
This is like those. It's like the My Player or the Road to Glory or whatever the mode is where you create your own player, and now you have skill caps. But like 15 years ago, I remember the games like never had skill caps, and so you could eventually just make a. I mean, you get to 99 overall when all of your stats are at like 80 or like 85, and then you can just keep going up. And it's like, I don't know how much higher this would be, but it caps at 99, but he's been at 99 for a long time, and it's just unstoppable. And at that point, you can make yourself 8 feet tall, 4 feet tall, doesn't matter.
Good stuff.
All right. So we have time for one more topic. We actually had 2 more planned, but we have one more. So would you guys rather talk about Trevor Lawrence or J.J. McCarthy?
How much time do we have? I feel like the Trevor Lawrence topic will be longer because we don't know anything about J.J. McCarthy.
Let's talk about
J.J. If that's the case, let's go J.J.
Yep.
Okay, so the question is, what would it take for you to consider J.J. McCarthy's first season as a starter a success?
Staying healthy, let's start with there.
Okay, that's fair.
I would say doing as well as Sam Darnold did last season.
Oh, that's such a high bar. That is such high expectations for him.
Yep.
That
is, and I do it for a reason. They basically, with time, not even put into a pressure situation, basically decided we're going to let Sam Darnold loose, and we are going to, instead of pick up another quarterback, we are going to go with the unproven guy we drafted last year. So I'm hoping, because at this point, it looks like what you're basically betting against is, do I just think he'll do a good job, or do I think that Kevin O'Connell and the entire coaching staff for a full year have just been duped or tricked by this boy to get the starting job? I feel like they clearly have to have a lot of confidence in him. They have a great team. Like, it's rare that a rookie quarterback gets put into this situation. If you put this quarterback in there, I mean, he's a Blake Griffin freshman, you know, like it's like, yeah, you're a rookie, but like, are you? So the thing is, you put him in there, he has all the protection he needs, he has the weapons he needs. At that point, yeah, if you can't do as well as Sam Darnold, like, it, to me, that's not a success. Sam Darnold is the town floozy, man. You just pass him around to whatever team needs a slightly above average quarterback. If your guy isn't at least slightly above average, it's not a success. Like, you kind of wasted it. You should have either been helping some or mentoring someone else, vetting someone else, or just at least have a better backup.
So are you saying like stats wise, Avery, or like wins wise, or both?
Both.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Both.
Hold on. Allow me, please,
okay.
Joel. You always do stats. Allow me to do some stats here.
Go. Okay.
Okay. So Sam Darnold last year, let's just start with number of attempts. Sam Darnold threw the ball 545 times last year. J.J. McCarthy in college never threw the ball over 340 times in a season. Now, there are less games, true, but in college, your playoff, your postseason stats count towards your whole season stats. And so in 15 games, Sam Darnold's stats are for 17 games. We're talking two less games stat-wise. Also, skill-wise, they're not the same either. So, like college versus NFL. So in 15 games, McCarthy threw completed 240 out of 332. That was his best percentage year of 72%, which is really good. 72% completion percentage is incredible. He didn't even break 3,000 yards. He only threw for 22 touchdowns. Now, they did win the national championship that year, right? So that's great. Michigan won the national championship that year. Last year for Sam Darnold, 17 games, he completed more passes than J.J. McCarthy threw in his last season of playing football. Now, he technically played football last season. Doesn't really count. Sam Darnold also threw for 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns. So he threw for, was that 23, right? Nope, 13. I can math. 13 more touchdowns, 2,000 more yards, or 1,400 more yards, excuse me. There's just no way that a healthy Vikings fan can expect the same thing out of J.J. McCarthy versus out of Sam Darnold.
No, I want to respond to that before Joel hops in. One, Michigan is a running team. The reason it would be one thing if he just had a whole bunch of incompletions, interceptions, whatever it is. That's one of the things where they won the national championship. The man performed his role, and that was enough. They won the championship. I want to point out, though, that it's less about the system you were in college and more about the system you're in now. Sam Darnold threw for 4,300 yards last season, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. The year before that, 297 yards. The year before that, 1,100 yards. The year before that, 2,500 yards, 2,200 yards, 3,000 yards back to 2,800. So he had a monumental season last year to the point where you have to ask yourself, did he just suddenly get better in year 7? Or do the Vikings have a great system to support their quarterback? And that's why I say, look, you had Sam Darnold. I don't know the situation with his contract, if he was just going to leave anyways, or the Vikings were like, hey, we're cutting you loose regardless. To me, I see it from the Vikings front office. Dude, clearly Sam Darnold wasn't cutting it for you. You let him go, and you're letting your new rookie start. They weren't out there in the quarterback sweepstakes trying to land some big name. They got Sam Howell as a backup to J.J. McCarthy. In my mind, I see it as a little bit of a strategic move, but also he's not good enough where the fans are going to be clamoring for him to start. It's not going to be this drama thing. But I see that as like, okay, he had this monumental season. You got rid of him in preparation for the guy you drafted and vetted and prepared for a whole year. If you can't replicate that, and look, if Sam Darnold had 4,300 yards and this guy has 3,900 yards and 2 less touchdowns and 3 more interceptions, I see that as relatively the same. But what they're looking for is wins. So that's the big thing. If you can get wins, if he's not getting benched, he's not throwing picks all over the place, and they win more than one playoff game, I see that as a success. I see that as just as good, if not better.
So I reached out to our friends at Cheeseheads and the Bear podcast because they also have a Vikings fan on their podcast. And so I asked them to give me some insight on this question. And so what the Vikings fan said is he would consider it a success if the Vikings make the playoffs. Even if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, as long as they make the playoffs, he would consider it a success. He didn't say that they have to win 14 games because that's insane. Like, that's extremely hard to do for any team, especially in back-to-back years. But he just said if they make the playoffs, even if they lose in the first round, that would be a success. Now, I think that that's fair to say, but I also think it's somewhat unfair to say. And the reason why I think it's fair to say is because you have J.J. McCarthy, who you picked 10th overall. So when you pick a guy at 10 overall, especially as a quarterback, you are expecting that guy to be your franchise quarterback very quickly. And I think it's fair because this team went 14-3 last year. And, this team doesn't have a lot of holes. When you talk to people about the Vikings, they're not saying, oh, they need this, and this. Like, there's not a whole lot of holes on that team. When you talk about the Vikings with other people, it's, I don't know what J.J. McCarthy's going to be. That's literally the one question that people have about the Vikings is J.J. McCarthy. Everything else, there's not really a big question. There's not really a big hole there. So this team is very solid. So I do think it's fair in that regard to expect that out of J.J. McCarthy. The other reason why I think it's fair is because, like you mentioned, Avery, they had Sam Darnold, who was not good before he went to Minnesota. He just wasn't good. And then he comes to Minnesota and he has this career season. And, it was a different head coach, but like we mentioned before, Minnesota did that same exact thing with Case Keenum when he was there. And so Minnesota just has this way of making quarterbacks better than they are. Now, I think it's unfair to J.J. McCarthy because this is a guy who's played in one preseason game. He's thrown a total of 17 passes in a preseason game. And it's not like that last season he was sitting behind Sam Darnold and he was doing all the reps in practice because he was hurt. He wasn't getting all those reps in practice. So, yes, he was sitting and learning, but he didn't have the opportunity to actually apply anything that he learned because he was hurt. And so I don't think it's fair to say that he has to make the playoffs in order for it to be a success. This may be a little lenient of me, but I'm going to give him 8 games. I want to see what he does in the first 8 games. And after that, I want to see him improve because that would give him actual playing experience, playing and starting experience. And then after that, I want to see him just get better because he's had the year to sit and learn the system. But now that gives him enough time to actually go out there and apply what he's learned in that system. So if I don't see J.J. McCarthy after the first 8 games get better, then that's going to be a disappointment to me. But if he gets better after those first 8 games, I think that would be a successful season, even if the Vikings don't make the playoffs.
I don't think the fact that he was hurt and not getting reps, I don't think that affects him at all. If anything, I think he can work on mechanics, work on game plan, and then just little intangible things. I think that year, as long as he used it wisely, and I think Kevin O'Connell made sure he did, basically just focus on get ready mentally so that next year you're ready. As soon as your body is ready, we're good to go. And it seemed like that was the plan the whole time, at least up until Sam Darnold was dropped, where it's like, or traded or whatever it was. I just see that as, okay, you have no excuse not to be ready. He tore his meniscus. It wasn't an ACL. It wasn't anything like something like really bad. It was like, nah, genuinely, this takes a few months to heal from. They just put him on injured reserve. He's ready to go. So at this point, I mean, to me, I see this as if you're a quarterback, if you're a rookie quarterback, this is the best possible situation you could be in. I mean, obviously you have the limelight on you, but you've had a full year now to figure out the system. You're not a rookie hauling your teammates' bags, dealing with the press, trying to figure everything out. You're ready. Like, you are ready to go. You have the full confidence of the entire coaching staff. You've been playing with these guys for a while now. Like, to me, I'm like, you're a professional. You're not a college kid anymore. This is it. So that's why I see it as like, dude, very rarely do rookie quarterbacks ever have a nice offensive line. You've got it all. You've got weapons. To me, I wouldn't even grade him as a rookie quarterback. I'd see him as just a normal quarterback. It's like, okay, you've got a great system around you. Say what?
He's not a rookie quarterback. It's his first year starting. He's not a rookie.
I mean, yeah. He played a preseason game.
He doesn't get a Ben Simmons season. That doesn't happen.
All that to say,
comparing anyone to Ben Simmons is just brutal.
That's why I used Blake Griffin earlier.
That's just not fair to anybody.
I just think, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be good or not, but I think that the college stats doesn't mean that he's not going to be a great passer. I watched his preseason game, like the highlights there. It looked solid. There was nothing in there that was making me think that this guy's not going to make it. Then again, it's one game, a preseason game against preseason opponents. But all I have to say, I think he's got all the tools. If he fails here, it really comes down to him. So it is one of those things where I kind of agree with Joel there, 8 games. Like, look, if you can't make it happen here, dude, there are tons of quarterbacks that would kill for that to be in that position.
So I have a question for Will.
Yes.
So you're not high on J.J. McCarthy because you think that he was like carried by the running game at Michigan. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, that's factual.
Okay. So these are also facts. You are very high on
like,
Will Howard.
Damn it.
Yes,
Sure.
You are very high on Will Howard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in J.J. McCarthy's last year when he won the national championship, his top 3 running backs combined for 1,964 rushing yards.
Sure.
But in Will Howard's last year, when he won the national championship, his top 2 running backs combined for 2,076 rushing yards. So those top 2 running backs combined for more yards than J.J. McCarthy's top 3 running backs.
So
And
if
Will
I
Howard
may
had-
answer this. All right, let you finish.
And Will Howard had Emeka Egbuka and Jeremiah Smith. J.J. McCarthy did not have anywhere near the receivers that Will
You're
Howard
right.
had.
You're right. He also did not have the same competition. Because in 2024, the Big Ten changed significantly in the competition with
He
him.
still had Ohio State,
Sure, one team, right?
Penn State.
They play in the Big Ten. You're right.
Rutgers.
Just because Oregon wasn't there.
Northwestern. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can.
That is what it sounded like. They didn't play Oregon.
The Big Ten was
Truly.
the Big Ten was Oregonless.
Honestly, though, like
Yeah.
the Big Ten in 2024 was harder than the Big Ten in 2023. Agree or disagree? It was a more challenging division. Agree or disagree?
True.
The Big Ten before? Yeah.
But Ohio State was a more stacked team than Michigan.
I can agree with that. Absolutely. You're right. The best team money could buy. I don't doubt that is not wrong. I just still view Will Howard as a better quarterback than I do J.J. McCarthy. And I'm sure I'm going to eat those words eventually, but when Will Howard wins Rookie of the Year this year and J.J. McCarthy maybe wins 5 games, that's just the way it's going to be. Let me enter this into the J.J. McCarthy conversation. The Vikings have, now again, these numbers are all garbage because nobody knows yet, but the Vikings have statistically the 5th hardest strength of schedule right now. They have the 5th hardest schedule in the NFL. Granted, all of these numbers could change because who knows who's going to get hurt and this, that, and the other. And so throwing J.J. McCarthy into that right off the bat, yes, the Vikings seem to be able to be the miracle worker for quarterbacks. And yeah, he's the top 10 pick and is an NFL player. So obviously he's got skill. I just don't view it as a good starting opportunity for him. I'm afraid he's going to get overwhelmed or get ahead of his skis or think his expectations are too high because of the Sam Darnold from last year, that the expectations are going to be too high, and so he's going to get inside his own head for it. To me, a success for J.J. McCarthy this year is maintaining second place in the NFC North. I think if they can get second place in the NFC North, assuming the Lions don't have injuries, right? If everything stays the course as it was last year, getting second place in the NFC North and possibly making the playoffs, I think is a success. I don't think third place is a failure. Fourth place in the NFC North, that's going to be a failure. Third place,
Yes,
I think
100%.
third place is a good season. Second place is a successful season. Wins and losses are going to come and go.
All he's saying is they just have to beat the Bears.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
And the Bears are going to be better this year. The Bears are going to be better. They play in arguably the hardest division in the NFL. And you are throwing this guy in who was not, frankly, a throwing quarterback in college, and you're putting him on a team that likes to throw the ball a lot, or at least liked to throw the ball a lot last year. And if they're not going to do that this year, that means they're changing their offense, and their whole offense is going to have to be revamped, which means your whole system has to be revamped, which means you don't have anywhere close to the same team you had last year. You may have the same players, but the team is completely different. And it would be smart for Kevin O'Connell to change the team to fit the quarterback, not to just expect J.J. McCarthy to be Sam Darnold from last year.
Okay. All right. Well, if you are listening to this podcast, let us know in the comments what you think about J.J. McCarthy and what you would consider a successful season for J.J. McCarthy. So that's it for episode 19 of 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL podcast. But next week, we have a 49ers fan coming on the show, and we're going to talk 49ers, and we're also going to talk probably some Trevor Lawrence, since we didn't get to talk about him today. But that's all we have for today. And as always, don't forget to keep your balls played with. We'll see you next time.
Also, Mark Davis' haircut still sucks.